In this video, I'm going to recommend 5 projects that you can do at home that don't require any money and that you can put on your resume after you're done. These projects are designed to help you break into project management, especially in IT or tech. For each of these projects, I'm going to explain a little bit about why I recommend these projects. I'm going to show you some resources and guides that you can use to actually complete the projects, and then I'll tell you what you'll learn by completing these projects and what you can actually put on your resume after you're done. If this is the first time you're seeing me, you should know that I've been working as a project manager for the last 8+ years in IT and tech roles, and I don't have a degree in IT or computer science, and I broke into the IT and tech field using these same projects that I'm going to share with you guys here below. The first project I recommend is building a website using WordPress. Now, I know there are many AI tools coming out every day and you can have a website built for you in seconds, but the reason I recommend you build one using WordPress is because you'll be forced to think about things like purchasing a domain name, website hosting, databases, website backups, file sharing using FTP protocols, servers, and you'll have a much better idea and appreciation for how websites and content management systems work. In my day-to-day work as an IT project manager, most of my core knowledge comes from having built websites using WordPress, and during meetings with the technical teams, even though as a project manager I'm not required to come up with the technical solutions or solve technical problems, I'm at least able to make suggestions and ask questions that helps keep the conversation going during the meeting. Now, before you even start creating a website, you need to have an idea for what kind of website you want to create. Do you want to create a blog where you're going to post articles and videos? Do you want to create your own portfolio where you're going to showcase your skills and experience? It's entirely up to you. Maybe you can create a mock website for an existing company. Once you've decided what you want to create, I recommend following along on a free tutorial from YouTube, and there are many out there. But if you really want to go deep and really do this properly, I suggest following along on Ferdy's tutorial. And keep in mind that his tutorial is about 8 hours long, which means he goes into detail, really showing you everything step by step. And the idea is that you'll actually be building a website in parallel as you're watching the video, and so you'll be doing everything step by step while you're watching his video. So it might take you several days to actually go through the whole thing, but believe me, it's well worth it, and you're going to learn a lot, and by the end you'll actually have something tangible that you can show on your resume. Now, once you've built the website, you'll be able to put something like this on your resume. The second project I recommend is creating a small Android or iOS application using no-code AI tools. Now, even though these AI tools, you don't need to know how to code, I would still recommend that you first learn just a little bit about coding. Things like if-else statements, loops, variables, functions, and you can learn all of these quickly if you go through the CS50 course that I recommended in my previous video. Building a small application like a to-do list tracker or a silly game like Flappy Birds will force you to start thinking about requirements. What does the application need to do? It will force you to start creating a list of features that you want in the application, as well as a backlog of nice to have features in the application. It'll make you test the application to make sure that it's working as expected, and then you'll track bugs in the application and then work towards resolving them. And this is what real developers do and QA testers do on real projects that I manage for large companies around the world. I've actually built 3 small applications and used to have all of them on the iOS App Store. This was a long time ago in 2016, but since I didn't renew my Apple developer subscription, they are not available for download anymore. However, the experience of building these applications and having done the actual work of developers and QA testers, now when I'm working on an application upgrade project for large companies, I feel much more comfortable because I have context on what they're doing because I've done it before myself, even though it was at a much smaller scale. Now, when I built these apps, I actually coded these apps using a programming language called Swift for iOS. But for you guys now in the age of AI, there are so many tools you can use, and I'll leave a list of them down in the description below. Once you've built your first app, you'll have something tangible that you can point to and say that you've built and you can be proud of, and you'll also be able to put something like this on your resume. The third project I recommend is creating your own e-commerce store. Again, you can use WordPress because it's free, or if you have some money, then you can use Shopify because they streamline a lot of things for you, and they are just a much more optimized e-commerce platform. So why do I recommend creating an e-commerce store? Because in the process, you're going to design your brand, you're going to select a product, you're going to talk to suppliers and negotiate rates. You might even hire a contractor to design your logo and write your copy. Basically, you're going to do everything that a business owner would do when they're launching a new business. And in the process, you're going to gain so much real life experience. Again, I'm not recommending anything that I haven't done myself before. I actually still have a live e-commerce dropshipping store, and the skills and knowledge that I've gotten from working with different vendors and subcontractors are the same skills and knowledge that I use to work with vendors across my products at Walmart, Canadian Tire, and many other companies that I've worked for. For this one, I don't have any specific recommendations on which tutorial to follow, but I'm sure if you Google around, you'll find some resources and you can follow the ones that you like. And once you've built and launched your first e-commerce store, you'll be able to put something like this on your resume. The fourth project that I recommend that you can put on your resume when trying to break into project management is planning the build of a home office with the new IT tech equipment. Now, I know if you were to actually implement this project, it would cost a lot of money depending on what you decide to do and how much you want to upgrade and what equipment you want to add. But the process of planning and budgeting and creating a scope of things that you want to do for this new home office is where you'll get a lot of value and experience. By listing out what you will upgrade, what new equipment you will purchase, how long the equipment will take to arrive, whose help you'll need to actually install the equipment, installing the flooring, and all the other work required to actually complete the home office renovation, you'll end up building actual project-related documentation like a project schedule, a budget, and a scope checklist. And by the end of the project, you'll be able to put something like this on your resume. The last project is the only project that I have not done yet myself, but it is something that I would like to do in the near future, and it is creating a home-based cloud data storage solution. So instead of relying on Google Drive or on OneDrive or Dropbox, creating your own cloud storage using a combination of hardware and open source software, which is readily available for free online. The reason I recommend this project is because you'll learn a lot about security, networking, IP and MAC addresses, firewalls, user access, permissions, and in all the IT and tech projects that I've managed, there have always been some element of networking or security that we've had to deal with. So having experience in this area will give you more confidence when you're dealing with these teams and allow you to ask the right questions and make good suggestions during meetings. Now, although I haven't done this yet myself, I will leave a link to a few resources in the description below that I feel provide a good guide on how to actually build this out yourself. And once you plan and implement a home-based cloud data storage solution, you'll be able to put something like this on your resume. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 projects that I recommend that you do and put on your resume if you're looking to break into project management, especially in IT or tech. Now, as I mentioned before, I've done all of these projects before myself with the exception of number 5, but I don't want you to feel like you need to do all of these projects to break into the field. The only project that I showed on my resume early on was my experience in building and launching an e-commerce store, and that was enough to land my first role as a lead IT project coordinator. So I want to hear from you guys. Which of these projects are you going to try? Let me know in the comments below, or maybe you're going to try something completely different. I'd still love to hear from you guys. So drop a note in the comments on what you guys are going to do for your projects to building experience on your resume. Now, if you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me to make more videos and gives me more confidence knowing that I'm helping real people out there who are looking to break into IT tech project management. That's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next one.